Hi. So I just got done breaking open a coconut, and I did this very easy. I kind of know coconuts pretty well. The reason is because I had coconut trees growing up, kind of thing. And I figured out some things by myself because I noticed that people did things the hard way. So I would just observe and see what's easiest, what's more simple for me, and so right now I'll just show you. There was not much coconut water, okay? I poured this in, it was about maybe that high. I drank that because I really needed that right away. But I picked a coconut that people have often overlooked as a bad coconut. And the reason I did this is because I kind of know when fruit's right to eat. People aren't supposed to take, from the Garden of God, kind of thing. But uh, they did, and even though that's wrong, there's still something I wanted to mention about this. Okay, so I picked a coconut, like I said, that's older and that does not look right. That doesn't look like a fresh coconut or anything, kind of thing. So, see how beaten this looks, all right? And see how kind of tinted and brown that might be. So that's kind of the way that looked, and I wanted to show you that. See this kind of how that looked, brown and stuff. Okay. I cut the different portions with a paring knife because right now that's all I have to really cut something. It's just a small paring knife that I got kind of cheaper than other stores and places. But I want to show you. Okay, so from looking at the side view, I just cut down the line, and because this is the shell is like older and dry, I kind of knew that that would be an easy cut. So I stuck the paring knife in here. Okay, see that? How easy? And I'll show you another, I'll break open another portion here. But you see how simple that is? Okay, I'm barely using much strength, and this is helpful to me. I had to observe this in life because I had been weak, physically weakened by what they were doing, what people have been doing wrong to my body and soul information. Okay, so that was an easy cut. I want you to see also the inside of this coconut. Okay, so that's kind of normal, a normal appearance for a coconut on the inside, but at the top looks a little dark. And when people kind of look at these type of coconuts, see this kind of had my information. Okay, they kind of avoid the ones that drop on their own and that turn brown, like on the outside, and have that kind of marking. But I don't. I check them. Okay. And what I did is I took that and I shook that, and I heard the shaking of like liquid, which is inside the coconut. So now I want to show you how I did this. So I used a paring knife and I cut the lines. All right. And I also used this to kind of wedge in so I could peel this off from the inside of the coconut. It's kind of another tool I have right at the moment. And then I also used a fork, and I did that like this, take part of the coconut. Okay, and I just kind of scooped in like that to pull that out because there's like a scoop with this. And a fork is nice to use, not a plastic fork, metal, or that kind of fork, and that came out. So I had to apply a little bit of strength, but not a lot. And after I looked at the top, and I kind of pried it open a little bit with a knife. Okay, so the top was closed. There was only one hole that was easy for me to just stick in and open. So I kind of wedged the knife in a little bit. I was like, okay, and I put over my cup, okay, my glass, and I just let that sit, but hardly anything was coming out, so I had to get a tool. And right now I don't have all the tools that I would actually like for my own abundance, you know, kind of thing, because of what happened. But I kind of tried to wedge a little bit, but what worked for me is I used my corkscrew. And after opening just enough to kind of wedge a hole, then I stuck the corkscrew in that open hole, that crack that I made. And I just did this, okay? I'm showing you, you know, the broken coconut that I opened, but I did this, okay? And then I would use the edges here and just kind of pull up like a regular cork, okay? And I would unscrew it like this. And then I would just kind of do that again a couple times until the hole was good enough to release the coconut water. Kind of milky thing, okay? Now this was really refreshing for me. I really, really needed this for my body. Not everyone needs, you know, what I need. Because a lot of stuff, bad stuff happened to me that does not happen to other people. All right, so I left some of the stuff in there, like some of the coconut meat, okay, which is the white stuff, okay, like this. And I also left some of the brown stuff from in here. And I probably won't drink all that stuff, but it's kind of settling in there so I can get some of the nutrients that I might not get if I just avoid putting that in there, kind of thing, okay? And I didn't really feel like straining that right away, so. All right, so right here, I peeled off the coconut with the back, and all I did, I'll put this aside, but all I did was like this. I kind of used something heavy because I don't really have a hammer. I have a small little one, okay, and that was not handy at the moment. I need to really dig, like, remember and dig through things, but the easiest thing, because I needed a coconut right away for my body, was I just grabbed what I could, really easy, and I put this on the ground or on the table, a counter or something. And so my hand's not a counter or a table, but just as a visual aid. And I would like tap the top to kind of loosen the coconut meat at the bottom. So I'm going to do that right now. Kind of get some stuff out of the way here, but just so you can see, okay? Tap that a little. And use the fork. Okay. But you can see there's like a portion split right there. And that's the part that I want to grab off or cut through with a knife. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. That way I don't have to dig into the meat so much. And I could literally cut that way also. So I'm gonna do both and show you. All right, I already banged this a couple times, but I'm gonna bang this again. there's a step I did not mention yet. I'll get to that soon, but I want you to see this part. Okay, see it kind of peels back. I mean that portion, you see? See how that's loosening up? So I'm just gonna keep pushing in a little bit with my knife, a little wedging right between those portions, okay? And see how that cracked out with this, okay? And I don't cut this off. I eat that too, that portion. For me, that's really nourishing. But other people might not like the brown portion, and that's fine. You know? You can also break open with your hands. Like that. Okay. Once that's loosened enough. What I did do that I did not tell you yet is before I cracked open this part. Now I did not, because of the texture of this in the right season, I did not have to throw this on the ground to break that open. I just cut through easy, okay, with a knife. I mean, I could do that with a handheld knife, not just a paring knife, but you know, like Swiss Army knife or something. And I took this and I just tossed this onto like concrete or cement, something hard, a surface that wouldn't break if I did that, and that cracked just enough, okay, for me to break open. And okay, so like you see this is kind of how that looked. There was a crack, just one like crack that kind of ran a little bit through, kind of like a 3 or an E. See what I'm saying? Okay. Happens to me a lot for some reason. Okay. And I just stuck my knife in through the crack. Okay. Like if this were cracked, I would just stick my knife in through the crack and then kind of wedge that open and just lean my knife enough to open that up a little without breaking my knife. So, and then I would just patiently do that. And that actually only took hardly a minute for me to do, but like this, okay? So on the outside, I just kind of wedged and I could easily break that off, kind of have to pull apart. Okay, so that's a simple way to eat a coconut when there might not be enough strength in a person's body to get like a coconut that is, you know, to pick a coconut from a tree is not exactly the right way or the right season to eat a coconut, but people do that out of ignorance, and they might just want something that they think is really fresh, you know, but I kind of wait for the right season to do something, to eat fruit and stuff and vegetables. But I've practiced on different seasons. See, I just popped that open, okay, which is exciting. That came apart really easy. So this is good for me. And then that again, you know, just kind of see how that broke off. So there's different ways to do that. All right, kind of really soft texture outside of the coconut, kind of cushiony. Soft, not so rough when they're at the right stage to open. Effortlessly kind of thing. Okay, also, see that? I could try to break that off, and what happened was this came right off with my hand. I didn't even have to use the knife this time. So that's another little tip I learned on my own. Okay, see this portion? In this portion, I'm just gonna cut down the center. I already started. I'm gonna finish that real quick. Okay, and this is not that difficult, but there needs to be a little strength in the arm to to break open something like this, to get that off. So what I did is made it a little simpler to break off. See that crack? That's where I cut. See how that was easier to break open? And so this kind of peeled off also. And that just makes that that might make that a little easier to cut open. Kind of thing. And then break apart. So I'm gonna drink some more of this. To myself. Because of what I've been through, kind of gotta celebrate every moment. So coconuts also have my information in. There's some that are clearly have my blood information in and things like that I needed in my body. Kind of tinted red. So yeah, that's kind of what I look for is my body and soul information, and that's really supposed to be for me to heal, not something that other people should be eating and drinking of that has my information in. So anyway, yeah, coconuts also. All right, that's all for now.